Spaceships, alien worlds, and epic adventures. Sci-fi fans are in for a treat in the coming years. Be it Star Wars, Dune, or all new stories, we have compiled a list of the most exciting sci-fi movies coming out in the next few years. Steven Spielberg is bringing an alien movie to the big screen? In Disclosure Day, humanity learns that it is not alone in the universe, with far-reaching consequences. The cast includes Emily Blunt as a TV meteorologist and Josh O'Connor as a whistleblower on a crusade to expose the truth. Disclosure Day opens in theaters on June 12, 2026. A true highlight is already on the horizon. Project Hail Mary, starring Hollywood star Ryan Gosling. The novel by the Martian author Andy Weir is a real fan favorite among sci-fi lovers. Gosling's character, Ryland Grace, wakes up with no memory as the sole survivor aboard a spaceship, millions of miles away from Earth. Now he must save the world and discovers more than anyone could have imagined. The film is directed by Phil Lord and Chris Miller, known for 21 Jump Street and the acclaimed Spider-Verse films. It will be released in theaters on March 20th, 2026. In 2026, the Star Wars universe will make its return to the big screen. With The Mandalorian and Grogu, a new adventure from a galaxy far, far away awaits us. The plot picks up after the third season of the hit series The Mandalorian. Fan favorites Din Djarin and Grogu embark on a new mission for the first time in movie theaters. Hollywood icon Sigourney Weaver also stars in the film, which is directed by series creator Jon Favreau. The movie will be released on May 22nd, 2026. With Supergirl, the new DC universe takes a much darker turn. Millie Alcock plays Kara Zor-El, who, unlike Superman, didn't grow up sheltered on Earth, but had to survive on a fragment of her destroyed home planet Krypton. Directed by Craig Gillespie, the story is set to be a visually stunning sci-fi adventure, based on the acclaimed comic book series by Tom King. In this intergalactic quest for revenge, the heroine must face off against the villain Krem, played by Matthias Schoenaerts. And as icing on the cake, we finally get to see Jason Momoa as bounty hunter Lobo. Supergirl is scheduled for release in theaters on June 26, 2026. After a long odyssey through development hell, Masters of the Universe is finally making its way back to the big screen. Directed by Travis Knight, we can expect a modern live-action adaptation of the 1980s cult classic, in which Nicholas Galitzine takes up the sword as Prince Adam, aka He-Man. Oscar winner Jared Leto plays the iconic villain Skeletor. The trailer already teases appearances from many other cult characters. The film is scheduled for release on June 5th, 2026. This new The Hunger Games movie takes us back to a dystopian world. In Sunrise on the Reaping, the focus is on Katniss' future mentor, Haymitch Abernathy. Set 24 years before the first film, Haymitch is a participant in the 50th Hunger Games. In this so-called anniversary edition of the games, twice as many tributes are forced to compete against each other. Newcomer Joseph Zeta plays the young Haymitch, while Ralph Fiennes takes on the role of President Snow. But the most exciting casting news is undoubtedly the return of Jennifer Lawrence and Josh Hutcherson. Those familiar with the novel can already guess how Katniss and Peeta are likely to appear in the prequel. You can enjoy Sunrise on the Reaping in theaters starting November 20th, 2026. This man is a true sci-fi legend. Ridley Scott once revolutionized the genre with Alien and Blade Runner. Now, the director is dedicating himself to the film adaptation of the novel The Dog Stars. The cast is truly impressive and includes breakout star Jacob Elordi, the Substance lead Margaret Qualley, and superstar Josh Brolin. Elordi plays the main character Hig, who sets out in a post-apocalyptic world to find other survivors. We are eagerly awaiting the trailer. The adaptation will be released in cinemas on August 28, 2026. A completely fresh Star Wars story. That's what we can expect in Star Wars Starfighter starring Ryan Gosling. Set 5 years after the events of Episode 9, the story is not part of the Skywalker saga. Instead, the movie tells a standalone story with new characters. Gosling plays a man who must protect a boy against evil pursuers. Other cast members include Mia Goth, Matt Smith as the new big villain, and Amy Adams. Directed by Deadpool and Wolverine director Sean Levy, the movie has already finished filming and is slated for theatrical release on May 28, 2027. The spice will flow again. Few sci-fi sagas have captivated fans and critics in recent years as much as Dune. In 2026, Dune Part 3 will adapt Frank Herbert's novel Dune Messiah. The story picks up 12 years after the acclaimed predecessor and shows Paul Atreides in his new role as ruler. The sequel is once again directed by master filmmaker Denis Villeneuve. In addition to Timothée Chalamet, stars such as Zendaya, Florence Pugh, and Anya Taylor-Joy are also part of the cast. The movie is due to hit theaters on December 18, 2026. Movie fans are in for a true cinematic event, as Avengers Doomsday will be released on the same date. This has already given rise to the term Doomsday. We are looking forward to seeing what this means for the success of both blockbusters. A true cult comedy is getting a sequel. Hollywood icon Mel Brooks is bringing back Spaceballs. The biggest casting news is probably the return of Rick Moranis as Lord Darkhelmet. The actor had actually retired from acting years ago. Original star Bill Pullman is also returning for the sequel. While Mel Brooks won't be directing the sequel this time, he'll be involved as an actor and producer. 40 years after the original film, it's finally happening. According to the first teaser, Spaceballs 2 will be released sometime in 2027. But that's not all, because the world of video games in particular is increasingly conquering the big screen. First up is the highly praised Death Stranding, which is being adapted into a live-action film by the renowned studio A24. It will be directed by Michael Sarnowski, who recently found success with the prequel to A Quiet Place. The story will closely follow the plot of the game, with courier Sam Porter Bridges traveling through a post-apocalyptic world to reconnect isolated survivors. A Quiet Place will return for another installment. While the prequel A Quiet Place Day 1 not long ago explored the beginnings of the alien invasion, the main storyline will now continue. All we know so far is that John Krasinski will once again take charge of the creative side of things. Krasinski is writing, directing, and producing Part 3. A release date for the sequel has already been announced. The movie will hit theaters on July 30th, 2027. We will keep you updated on any new details, of course. There's also good news for fans of Horizon Zero Dawn. A script for the adventure surrounding machine gunner Aloy is already in place. While it is still unclear who will take on the iconic role, the filmmakers are currently aiming for a 2027 release. Keanu Reeves is back in the sci-fi genre. For his new film Shiver, he is teaming up with Deadpool director Tim Miller. The premise sounds wild. Reeves plays an unsuccessful smuggler who has to finish a job in the Caribbean Sea. He finds himself dealing with pirates, corpses, and thirsty sharks, all while being trapped in a lethal time loop. The crazy genre mix is said to be reminiscent of the popular sci-fi action film Edge of Tomorrow with Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt. The release date is currently scheduled for August 13th, 2027. Following the success of Alien Romulus, a sequel is already in development. Creator Fede Alvarez is working on a script that will take the franchise into completely new territory, possibly as early as 2028. The film adaptation of the surprise hit Helldivers is likely to be a lot more action-packed. The project is being held by Justin Lin, a true blockbuster expert who has proven his flair for spectacular directing in Fast and Furious and Star Trek Beyond. Beyond the gaming world, the focus is also turning back to a galaxy far, far away. Daisy Ridley will reprise her role as Rey in a new Star Wars film set around 15 years after The Rise of Skywalker, in which she seeks to establish a new Jedi Order. Directed by Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy, the movie aims to open a whole new chapter in the saga. Those were our sci-fi highlights for the coming years. Which movie are you most excited to see in theaters? And which future release do you feel deserves to be added to your watch list? We can't wait to read your thoughts in the comments.